for the people that actually love that club, in my opinion, it's just getting ripped out in front of them.
It's a beautiful thing to see.
It is, but I'm also at the point where I feel sorry for the real football. All the little Klingons I'm not asked about, but the actual real fans, they're watching their club being destroyed from board level down.
They had a
they cheated to get all that, didn't
land
they?
on their pitch and buy the club and give them every single thing they could have ever hoped and dreamed for. And
sorry, bro.
Honesty,
can I just give my analysis?
I'm really enjoying it.
Why'd you give it a free ball for this?
I'm absolutely loving it. Thank you for the assist.
We don't agree much.
She's
no, but
Roman,
I was just trying to look out for my boy.
You're shaking her hand.
The demise of Chelsea is just a work of art. Like,
you're shaking her hand, but
it's being teared down from the inside, and it's gorgeous.
Land. The runway is clear. You may land.
Roman had a choice to pick between Chelsea and Tottenham. It was heads or tails, and he just happened to choose us. So it could have been, she's just salty from that because she knows that.
Oh, I am.
It was very, it was very close. It could have been her.
You had the future I should have had.
Yes,
I was wallowing there mid-table, trophyless with one cup.
What it shows you now, though?
Who's having the last laugh?
Still
you.
Still you. Money doesn't always. If you don't use money smartly.
Yeah, no, 100%.
What's going on?
Listen, it's a complicated one because I think first of all it is Man City. Now for me, I wanted a result out of that game. Everybody wants a result out of that game. I don't think we should get too comfortable with saying we played well, but we didn't get any result. But because it's a new manager, the hope is and the expectation is as the season progresses, we're going to get stronger and stronger. I think that's something that we all have to accept. We're not expected to play Maresca ball day one after just having a pre-season with him for the first time and obviously jetting off here, there and everywhere in America. I think our pre-season could have been a bit better. We wasn't great in pre-season. It showed itself on the pitch in terms of defensively off the ball. We was allowing cover to run through us, allowing Haaland to bully us. We have a very weak team, which I think it makes us
after one game.
No, the team is weak in terms of. I'm not even talking
physicality,
about there's not much physicality in the team. The midfield is easy to get through in terms of physicality. The defense is quite weak. There's no like Rodri or Saliba or Gabriel. There's no Rudiger. It's a very weak. Nah, you've done too much. It's a very weak team in terms of physical, which means technically we have to be on point. And the truth of the matter is we just wasn't on point technically. Like we had some good moments and Lavi I thought was pretty good. Fofana had some moments where he saved us, but I thought Enzo wasn't great, especially in the first half. He just gave the ball away way too much, heavy touches. Jackson taking like 10 touches before he shoots. We didn't get Palmer in the game as much as we usually did last season, which was disappointing. But I think even Stamford Bridge was flat as well. So obviously I wasn't there, but I heard it was extremely flat, and they're disgruntled probably with the higher up. So there's a lot of people like going off into corners. Some people are loving the way that we're going in terms of Chelsea fans, like buying young players and they see the vision and potential. But
what percentage of people is that?
That's got to be low percentage.
I think if I'm going globally, because obviously Twitter sometimes makes you feel like it's a bigger place than it is, but if I'm going globally, I still feel like most people that I speak to, on average, it would be 70% are concerned. And
City were clinical, but an understrength City, no Rodri.
True.
Right? There's no Grealish. No
Oscar Bob.
No Oscar Bob.
Are we naming clear-cut starters though?
I'm just.
But even clear-cut starters.
I think Rodri.
Rodri is the main one.
Yeah.
But
Kovacic wasn't good enough last season.
Maybe man of the match.
He didn't have John Stones playing.
Yeah, John Stones.
He's always injured. He's injured for half the season.
Walker was
on the bench.
Walker wasn't good last year.
But he's still a starter. There were players that were starters.
I hear that.
Don't go down this.
No.
To me,
to see my guy go out.
No.
It's almost like
I'm just trying to name proper flesh starters.
City to me didn't really.
Carl Walker's not good.
City to me didn't really get out first gear. Like it was a pretty comfortable win. I was expecting that game. I was expecting it to be like that first game of the season against Man City. You guys are supposed to be going at it, flying in there, brand new manager, 11 new signings. Remember. 11 new signings they've made this season.
In the squad.
Oh yeah.
You made no signings. We made one signing, right? In Calafiori, right? 11 new signings. That place is supposed to be on fire.
But Robbie, none of those.
Everyone's supposed to be buzzing with anxiety. I mean,
but
it was a comfortable afternoon.
They started on.
Well,
but most of your players have been bought within the last 12 to 18 months. They're all new players.
When we say 11 new signings, none of those signings started. Right.
Okay, but why does it matter either way?
Because it's 11 new signings.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because none of them. None of them started.
Half
of them are out
normally,
back on loan.
Most teams, right? When you got new signings, every place is buzzing.
Yeah, but
I can't wait to see him.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that.
That's what I'm saying. When you make 11 signings and none of them start and half of them are going back out on loan to Boca Juniors or Strasbourg, there's no point mentioning 11 signings. That's why people are frustrated.
Yeah, so this is why now, right, I start to look on it and I think, because last week I was thinking, Chelsea are going to have a good season. They're going to be a lot better than they were last year. I still think they will be better than last year, but it's a very worrying situation where I see there yesterday. Number one, they didn't play well as far as I was concerned. For the team that's playing at home, first game of the season. Everybody has first games of the season. Ipswich, I saw their game against Liverpool. Place was buzzing, right? I'm looking at the place looked flat. The fans looked worried, right? I heard they were singing Conor Gallagher's name, right? They're bringing on Dewsbury Hall, who's not better than Conor Gallagher, but they're trying to sell Gallagher. That doesn't make sense to me. They paid £88 million for Mudryk. They brought in Pedro Neto. Mudryk didn't even get a game. Raheem Sterling's issuing statements before the game even starts, saying that, I'm ready, I'm fit and ready to play. Obviously very disgruntled that he's been left out. It looks like they're trying to, force him out of the club, right? They're trying to force various different players that he spent loads and loads of money out of the club. It's an absolute mess at Chelsea from what I can see at the moment. Off the pitch, Todd Bowley gets up and runs off before the end of the game. Those things don't look good. The optics of it. Listen, he might have been trying to get away before the crowds come out. I know how busy it gets down there, but the optics of that don't look good. Then on the pitch, Cucurella run up his mount on Haaland. Haaland just swats him away and scores that goal. All round.
Sanchez for the goal, second goal.
Sanchez for he's supposed to save that.
Got 7 others to pick from.
Right, 58 million for Lavia, 105 million for Enzo, and 115 million, right, for Caicedo, right? And then the guy that you sold for like what, 20 million, rocks up 30 million, he scores the winner against you, and you got Conor Gallagher on the bench. You don't even know whether he's going to be at Chelsea or he's going to be at Atletico Madrid. For me, a total and utter mess. I want to hear from Clara Bitzi, the big Chelsea fan. What are you saying, Clara? Because I need you to explain to me what's going on.
Honestly.
How do you actually feel as a Chelsea fan? Because to me, if I was a Chelsea fan, and I hear what you're saying about Chelsea fans, right? If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm very worried at this moment in time.
You'd be depressed.
That's not a good. I think they needed something to lift them off. And I think, when I looked at the starting lineup for
it's not City,
like weak. I thought there was a chance there.
There was a chance.
Well, this is why you'll probably end up doing not so bad, because you've bought so many different players that there is quality in there. So you're not going to be like, you're not going to get relegated or anything like that because there's too much quality there. But that's not because of, the board buying, good, smart talent. That's not because they've got any idea what's going on or they back a manager. That's because they've bought so much talent that there's too much that eventually they will be fine. But my biggest concern, if I was a Chelsea fan, is the way that they treat your own players, your either academy graduates or players at your club.
Does it surprise you?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily surprise me because of what this ownership are like, but it still surprises me because these are academy graduates
that have dedicated their life
that have come
Chelsea.
Through there. Whether it was Mason Mount before he went to Manchester United, the treatment of him,
6 years old.
Conor Gallagher, captain last season, 37 games, even Chalobah, Broha, like the way that they're treating those players, disgusting. And then on the Raheem Sterling thing, I think he's absolutely right to call them out. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. This is a club that is not showing 1 ounce of respect to their players that have either come through the academy or they've got on their books. And if I was Raheem Sterling, I don't think there's anything wrong with allowing that statement's come out.
I saw that on their club, on the club Chelsea club website, they've got 42 players in their squad. 42, right? And you're only allowed a 20-man squad in the Premier League. Like for the game for yesterday, you can only have 20 players. So obviously players have got to be dropped, but they're obviously trying to get Sterling out. Remember, they still got Lukaku. Honestly, I can't think of a club right now that's in more of a mess.
They're trying to make this so untenable for those players. They're
on top of that, I did have a problem with Enzo being the captain. I'm sorry, right? Yeah. I'm not. He may have apologised or whatever. I don't know the full details of that. But especially with what's gone on this summer in this country, to make him captain, that don't seem
tone deaf.
Yeah, it seems very tone deaf to me, and that just adds on top of the mess that I see at Chelsea.
It's actually quite weird because as bad as you were for basically most of last season under Pochettino, obviously I felt like you turned a corner towards the end. I think most people could say that.
5 wins in a row, was it?
Yeah, and I genuinely think, and I totally understand why Poch walked away from that because it is a circus. And it just was never going to align. But I actually feel like if Chelsea would have stuck with him and had some consistency, they might have gone into this season looking a lot better than they have done because it's someone that's, okay, been here for a year. Some of these players aren't really mine, but, you know, we've learned to adapt. Keeping the likes of Conor Gallagher, who knows what it means to play for Chelsea, understands the club, things like that. I'm not saying you can't move on players that you don't want, but I still think you need to understand what your club is about and kind of the nucleus of it. And all I see at Chelsea, all these players that have just been brought in, they don't actually care about your club. They couldn't give a toss. It's because they're there because of the money and the long contracts, and they're safe and secure on that. But what your club are doing and making these players who have come through your academy, putting them in this untenable situation where it's like, if they're to go and hand in a transfer request, they waive the right to obviously the rest of their contracts, also signing on fees, etc. They're putting them in a situation that you should never be put in as an academy graduate.
No, it's not nice.
So, Chelsea at the moment, you should call it Chelsea Farm.
Just think about like how I can only imagine like the greats of your club, how they would feel looking at the situation at Chelsea now.
Yeah, it's
embarrassing. It's like you don't even know who your club. I don't even know who your club is.
It's unrecognisable. It's a completely different club. It's a completely different ownership. I still don't know what their intentions are in terms of how much they actually want to win trophies or what their long-term vision is with some of these players they're bringing in. Because even if they do get them right, there's no evidence to say if a big bid doesn't come in, what they do with that bid. I don't know until I see that bid come in. So, but in terms of this current team, I have to judge them after 5-6 games first. I'm gonna leave City where it is because it is Man City. I said before the game I would have preferred a nicer fixture because I knew that fixture was a rough one. But like you said, Robbie, I thought we could have got something out of it because if we had put our chances away, we was on paper and on statistics with City the whole game. It's not like City came and just brushed us aside and like it was no competition. We had chances, we just didn't take them.
Do you think Enzo Maresca will be there at Christmas?
Yeah, he has to be. It's non-optional.